Hello, this is your Express briefing for Tuesday, July 23rd. For the San Antonio Express News, I'm Joy Marie Scott. Become a subscriber and read more of these headlines at expressnews.com. Today, we're monitoring a meeting of the Alamo Colleges Board. We're also looking ahead to the 25th Annual San Antonio Film Festival. Watch for some possible scattered thunderstorms in the morning and a high of 93 degrees. Reimbursements to San Antonio and area nonprofits for migrant aid may be delayed and likely won't come close to covering all the costs. Congress approved $30 million last month to reimburse the expenses incurred, but specifics on which states and which kind of humanitarian services are eligible are still up in the air. U.S. Representative Henry Cuellar said at a news conference in San Antonio. Catholic Charities of San Antonio has spent more than $324,000 on transportation for migrants, yet Cuellar questions whether those costs will qualify. Texas entrepreneurs have big plans for hemp, but they're struggling to find investors with big pockets. Entrepreneurs have found investors and banks are reluctant to take a chance on the new industry, partially because state regulators are a ways out from adopting rules under which the industry would operate. This could mean much slower growth than the backers of hemp legalization have envisioned. The greatest player in Spurs history is back. Tim Duncan is returning as an assistant coach, the club announced in a casual 5-paragraph news release Monday that only identified the legend as a, quote, 1997 Wake Forest graduate. No mention of the 5 NBA titles or 2 league MVP awards he earned in 19 years with the Spurs. Will Hardy, who started as a Spurs intern in 2010, was also promoted to a job on Greg Popovich's bench. They replaced Ettore Messina and Ime Udoka, who left for opportunities with the 76ers and an Italian team. Separately, the team released its 5-game preseason schedule for this fall. Steak 'n Shake could eventually default on its debt or file for bankruptcy, an analyst warned. A subsidiary of the San Antonio's Bilgari Holdings Incorporated, the burger and shake chain has been grappling with falling sales and stiffer competition in the quick-service restaurant industry. In a report, S&P cut Steak 'n Shake's credit warning, signaling a, quote, negative outlook. 2 new lawsuits in the St. Louis area challenged that hundreds of the restaurant's workers were not paid overtime. Under a settlement that's awaiting approval, Bilgari Holdings would pay almost $8.4 million. And in other news to know today, families of missing World War II servicemen are asking the Pentagon to exhume and identify their relatives' remains. The Preserve Lake Dunlap Association took the first step toward creating a tax that would help rebuild the failed Lake Dunlap Dam. San Antonio's response to a lawsuit against its paid sick leave law has exposed a rift between city staff and some elected leaders about how best to defend the ordinance. And in search of a spark for his campaign, Beto O'Rourke will be on the ABC's The View today with his wife, Amy O'Rourke. And now the fun stuff. You can believe the hype on Beyond Meat. Yes, Beyond Meat really does mimic meat and is widely available at San Antonio restaurants and grocery stores. The Taste Team shows you how to cook up some skewers, burgers, and meatloaf with it at expressnews.com/food. John Leguizamo's Latin History for Morons is coming to the Majestic Theater. Reporter Deborah Martin has the details at expressnews.com/entertainment. Visit expressnews.com for the full story on these headlines and more. That's your Express briefing for Tuesday, July 23rd. Get each day's top news and sports headlines delivered to your inbox at expressnews.com/newsletter. For the San Antonio Express News, I'm Joy Marie Scott.